The fundamental building blocks of any spreadsheet are the cells. In this video, I'll focus on the various ways you can format cells so that the cells display the information you want, visually look professional, and most importantly, will help you understand your data. Plus, it will give you a chance to familiarize yourself with the toolbar and editing the cells. Here, I have some data I've already inputted, but as you can see, it's not formatted very nicely. So let's change that. Select all the data by clicking on cell A1, holding the mouse button and dragging the blue selection, which will appear, to cell B6. Then release the mouse button. On the menu shortcut toolbar, click on the borders icon. This opens a drop-down menu with various borders options. The best way to think of the little icons is that they represent a grid of 2 columns and 2 rows. So for example, the top right icon will just add borders on the outside of the selection, but not add borders on the inside. The bottom left icon will only add borders to the far left cell and not the left-hand side of the second column. I want to add borders to all the cells. So I'll select the top left icon. As you can see, it adds borders to all the cells in the selection. Just click on any cell to get rid of the blue selection. We can also add borders with different line thicknesses, otherwise known as weights, and styles. Here we have a table with 3 classes and their performance marks. We're going to add thicker horizontal lines to make it easier to read. Select the cells you want to edit. I want to add a thicker line to the bottom of the header cells. Click on the border icon, then click on the part of the border you want, for example, the bottom line. In the lower right-hand corner, click on the border style icon. This opens a menu with different line weights and styles. Click on the one you want. I want a thicker one, so I click on that. As you can see, it's added a thicker line to the top row. To select multiple rows, hold down the Control key, Command on a Mac, while you select the rows. Here, I've selected 2 rows. Repeat the same process as before to add the thicker lines. I think this makes it look much clearer to understand now. Now let's add a bit of color to the table header. Select the top row, A1 to B1. Then click on the fill icon. This opens the color palette. Click on the color you want, and the cells will fill with that color. Now we're going to look at changing the position of the data in the cells and add bolding to the header text. By default, text is automatically placed to the left of the cell and numbers are placed to the right. Here, I want to put the 2 column headers in the center of the cells. Select the 2 cells, A1 and B1. Click on the alignment icon, the one with the horizontal lines. A drop-down menu will appear, offering 3 options. Put the data to the left in the center or to the right. I want the center, so I click on that one, and as you can see, the headers of my table in the top row are now positioned in the center. Now, let's add bolding to the headers to make them stand out a bit more. Select the 2 top cells as before, and then click on the bold icon B. The headers are now in bold. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+B. Now let's look at changing the font size, and selecting text wrap. Select all the cells. From the toolbar, click on the font menu. By default, it's Arial. A list of possible fonts will drop down. Your list may look different to this. Click on the font you want, and this will change the text font. Now let's change the font size. Click on the font size number next to the font name. This drops down a menu where you can either select a size or just type in a size in the box. I've selected size 14, but if you notice, the cell with test average is now too big for the cell. I could change the column width, but below I'm going to allow the text to wrap within the cell. Click on the text wrap icon, the one with the horizontal arrow. This offers 3 options. 1, if the text is bigger than the cell, it goes across into the cell to the right, unless there is something in that cell. And this is the default. 2, the middle option is to wrap the text so that all the text stays in the same cell. And to do this, the row height changes. 3, the right-hand option is clips the text when it gets to the edge of the cell. Note, this is just a visual thing on the sheet. It doesn't affect the content of the cell. I want it to wrap the text, so I choose the middle option. Now I can see all the text in that cell as the row height has changed to accommodate the text. So far, all our text in the previous examples has been horizontal, but there are times when we want our text to be displayed at a different angle, for example, in headers in a table. Let's look at how we can do that using the student performance table. First, select the cells you want to rotate, e.g. A1 to D1. Click on the text rotation icon, the letter A with an arrow. You will be presented with a range of possible rotations. As an example, let's rotate the headers to tilt up, the second option. As you can see, the header names are now diagonal. Have a play with the other options. You can also set your own angle by setting the angle on the right.